Hello everyone, my name is Peter Szczawinski and I just got 4th place at the Indiana Regional for Dragonball. It was about a week and a half ago now, and I went undefeated until the final round. I did not lose a single game until playing Marquise in the finals. But unfortunately, due to the way Dragon Ball tiebreakers work, I ended up playing I had less total wins than people who I beat in previous rounds, so I ended up getting 4th place instead of what I felt should be 2nd, but that's a whole nother thing with Bandai's tournament program. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to go over some of the choices I made. Not everybody was aware that I was playing Control Sin Shenron and not Aggro Sin Shenron. So here's some of my choices and my deck overview. I play 4 1-star balls, 4 of the Shadow Dragon leader, 4 Destruction Incarnate. Pretty standard stuff. This is going to go in pretty much every build. I also played 1 Harbinger of Ruin, and this card's very good in niche situations. People really underestimate the ability for me to just tap one of their cards. Can be game-ending in a lot of situations. This card is great as well. Probably one of the most staple cards in the deck at this point. Just Filter. I am playing 60 cards, and it doesn't seem like it because I almost deck out every game. More Filter to find your 1-star balls. Something else I play that not a lot of other people play is, sorry for the glare, this 2-star ball. There are certain decks you want to just apply pressure, and people don't really realize that this card can create insane pressure. For 2 energy, you can go into this, Hey Shenron, get a card back from your discard, which a lot of the time can be the Ocean's Shenron. You swing in for a crit and immediately just evolve for free into this guy, which I also play 4 of for multiple reasons. But it can be a real great way to get rid of annoying ass unison cards, or just swing at their life and put them in desperate situations really early. I always recommend playing 4 Hey Shenron Venomous Mists due to the numerous threats in the format that have high energy costs. I did end up playing against the Aggro Sin Shenron in one of my rounds, and I had no fear whatsoever because playing 4 of this card basically makes that matchup unwinnable for them, because who cares if they have these big triple strikers if you can just discard 2 cards and just kill it. It kills Cell Zeno, it kills the Omega Shenrons, not this one, but if it has barrier, but most of them, so you don't have to worry about these big threats. I do play 3 Omega Shenron, not 4. He's good in certain matchups. Just having barrier makes him a very hard card to deal with. He can deal with small cards with his ability to tap things when he attacks and kill 2 or less. Another card I play is 3 Novas. Another thing to just put on early pressure or just bring back useful cards. A lot of the time it ends up just being like an Ice Shenron, but if you're lucky enough, you can pull out this guy, and this card's a pain in the ass because it can tap unisons. I only play 1 of them, but if you're lucky enough to just mill it or something like that, or discard it off a haze, it can just be another annoyance for your opponents to deal with. Secret Rare, Cell Zeno. I didn't drop it. I think I dropped it once the entire tournament, which really sucked because it's obviously a very powerful card, and I just didn't draw it all day. Very unfortunate. 4 Zamasu, pretty self-explanatory. 4 Mechibura Unison. This card is a giant pain in the ass for everybody. You really have to just sequence all your plays so awkwardly around it, which is why I love it. If they decide to just attack first, they might sacrifice an energy. I might get to Nimbus, I might use Zamasu to tap their leader. They just have to like think really hard, and most players really mess up just working around this card. It's so powerful. Newer addition is Power of the Super Saiyan. This card is free in a lot of situations. It can be a negate, it can tap unisons or blockers, offensively, defensively. It's so versatile, and it's a really good card. Honestly, I might want to play 4 at some point, but I am at 60 cards, and that's there's not much room to cut things. I've spent a lot of time on this deck over the past, pretty much, I've been playing Sin Shenron, just Sin Shenron, nothing else since set 10. And all of my choices in this deck have been really refined, and I think that's a big reason of why I did so well at this tournament. 4 Nimbus is pretty obvious. Another card we have is 4 Dragon Thunder. This is very good against a lot of these just like go wide strategies, but the other thing that's really nice about it is it negates effects. And people really underestimate that. If you pay the 1, it can just, there might be one card that's out there that's like limiting your strategy. This can just help get around it and create some really interesting plays. And my final card for just barrier problem cards is 2 of these. It's kind of a necessary evil. I don't really like playing it that much, but you know, there's certain cards that just like ruin your day, and you need to be able to take care of it, so you want an out just in case. Lastly, the side deck. I feel like this was really my weakest element of my deck. It wasn't as refined. The main things that were necessary were the Chi-Chis for blue decks, even though the blue deck I ended up playing went to time in game 1, which is a big reason my tiebreakers were kind of messed up. And the big reason I got 4th instead of 2nd, but that's neither here nor there. Extra Power of the Super Saiyans, I sided these in a couple of games. Some Basils for, like, in case I needed, like, smaller swings. Like, Violent Rays can be a real problem for my deck, so sometimes you want something that's, like, a little smaller that can put on pressure. Also cooler for decks that have a lot of negates. Mechiabura, I didn't really side this at all, or the max powers. I really wish I would have had the Vegeta Unison to kind of slow down Dark Broly. I think I would have had a better matchup going into the finals, because it really is a bad matchup, but I didn't do enough research, unfortunately, and I haven't tested enough. I wish I would have, but I can always change that in the future. I also have these Great Apes for just random hand control decks, which I didn't see. But overall, I was pretty happy with my performance for the weekend. I had a really fun time playing in person, and I just thought I'd give everybody an idea of what I was playing. I played 2 Dark Brolys all day. I played a King Cold round 1, which that wasn't really, it didn't seem like a good matchup for them. The Bojack deck I played round 5 was probably the biggest struggle of my whole tournament, other than obviously the Dark Broly in the finals. But I used my leader's effect 3 times in one game, and that's what it took to finally win just one game. It was such a long game. I think we had like 12 energy. It was honestly pretty ridiculous. But I think I don't remember, the other deck I ended up playing was the Aggro Sin Shenron, and like I kind of said before, like, this card basically makes it so that deck can't win. And I saw him playing Sin, and I'm like, oh, this is basically auto win for me. That's how I feel about that matchup, just because they can't do anything. They can't apply pressure because their card's just going to get blown up. So the biggest difficult matchups were the Dark Broly, and in the future I think I can probably side better for it. if I continue to play this deck. I'm getting a little bored with it because I've been playing it literally since set 10 straight. But I'm happy that it performed well in a decent-sized tournament coming back from COVID. And yeah, I just wanted to share all my choices. If anybody has any questions about them, be happy to answer them. But because you don't see a lot of the control version anymore, it's mainly just the aggro glass cannon cheese variant, as I feel like it is. But yeah, thanks for watching.